They get right into the first witness. Yes, his assistant. I believe he was only his assistant for like 2 years, right? If I remember, it was like May 2007 through like May 2009 or something like that. He's seen a couple things, heard a couple things. He was told to stay in your lane, man. You here to turn, like literally, this is what we read in the last update. Literally, you're here to knock on the door to wake Diddy up. You're here to get a schedule in order. You're here to turn the TV on for him. You're here to, an assistant. And we read some shit that was like his schedule was 8 a.m. to 4 a.m. Do the math, people. That's a 4-hour sleep window, or 4 hours to yourself when you're not working and on call. I was like, that should be a charge. That when you talk about all the forced labor type of shit, I'm pretty sure that's coming. Like 8 a.m. to 4 a.m. The fuck? The price of being around Diddy. That's the books that you're going to be seeing coming at some point. Watch. The price to pay to be in Diddy's circle. All right. David James, a former personal assistant to Diddy, is now retaking the stand after beginning his evidence on Monday. He appears to be wearing the same blue suit and white shirt. We return to his description of disagreements he saw between Diddy and Cassie, which he says were about her professional career. Is he the only one that's been getting up on the stand crying so far? Ain't no wrong crying, people. I'm not that type of person. I'm just saying, yeah, all these women. Yeah, Cassie's best friend take the stand. Yeah, no, Cassie cried, right? Yeah, Cassie cried. All right, Cassie took the stand. I'm just saying. Don't let it be you're the only man and the whole child gonna be up there crying, huh? Get your ass off the stand. But he was subpoenaed, all right? So he remember, like we said, if you get subpoenaed, if they catch you on these phones, catch you at your door, catch you at your job, hand you that subpoena, you fuck around and try to dodge that and catch some time your damn self. So, all right, James says she wanted to be more involved with modeling and acting. Told her she needed to focus on her music career. James says he did not see physical violence between the pair. Okay. He says Diddy returned home and looked at his browser history. He says Diddy was upset and said someone was lying about a blog post that he had hit Cassie in a club. James, who says he had Googled Diddy LA club, describes the incident as jarring, as Diddy had never looked at his browser history before. So I ain't mad at Diddy. Yo, there's so much in this trial that we got to remember. You have to take yourself out of your own shoes and put yourself in these different situations. Like, as much as I could clown a nigga that's going to get paid to cut on the next man's TV, I would say confidently that would never fucking be me, ever. You can't pay me to turn you. That's not a job for me. I'm just not that type of guy. I need a different type of job. Right? But I got to put myself in the shoes of some of these people, and I understand the gravity of Diddy. Turns people out, turns people into groupies, got people involved allegedly in freak offs, doing shit that they don't want to do. He's this multi-millionaire, billionaire, whatever, successful guy that could press a button and your career is lit. That's why they got it on for that. You left, you saw this, you had all these issues, but then you came back and asked for a re-up. You want to do business again? She was like, yeah. You see what I'm saying? So people try to take the good with the bad, but I got to put myself in outside of myself to interpret some of this shit. All right. And if I'm Diddy and I got all this shit going on, this stuff that needs to stay private because my image alone is tied to millions and millions of dollars. If I find out that I went to the club last night and then there's this report that, oh, Diddy happened to slap somebody in his entourage on the way to the club. Who was I on the way to the club with? I got my security guard 1, security guard 2. I got Cassie with me. I got my assistant with me. Yo, let me see your fucking phone, man. Show me your phone. You go with the people that's around them. Yo, you got to understand, do you have any backstabbers in your circle? Because there's all types of shit going on. There's freak offs. There's drugs. There's assault. I might slap Cassie around here and there. I need people that's going to shut the fuck up. Just like he testified yesterday. I need the security guard that's going to tell the assistant, yo, stay in your fucking lane. If you're Diddy, that's the type of people you need around you. Loyal people that stay in their lane, shut the fuck up, not go to the tabloids, not go to the blogs, not try to take pictures of him while he's walking down the fucking hall, dragging somebody allegedly. Right? Let me see your phone, nigga. I was this. Baby oil and condoms were not paid for by the company. James lists the items he would bring to Diddy's hotel room ahead of his arrival, including a sweatsuit, underwear, food, including applesauce, jello, lemonade, and Fiji water. The fuck y'all got me reading this morning? That's just another thing that can't be in my fucking job description. Yo, here's your applesauce. Jello? Come on, B. We gotta find better things to do as a profession. Damn, B. Lemonade and Fiji water. It's just so specific. Applesauce, Jello, lemonade, toiletries, a lot of cosmetic products for Diddy's skin. Okay. A Louis Vuitton bum bag containing money, usually 10,000 or more. A medicine bag containing 25 to 30 pill bottles, Advil, Tylenol, Viagra pills to increase sperm count, and water pills. What's water pills? I don't even know what water pills is. Is it a dehydration thing from all the alcohol going around? Allegedly? I don't know. I don't even know what water pills are. All right. All right. All right. All right. Let's keep going. James said he was not reimbursed for all the supplies as Diddy did not want personal items like baby oil, Astroglide lubricant, and condoms paid for by the company. Why not? It's not illegal to have baby oil or Astroglide. Pay for it by the company and write it off on your LLC. It's the cost of doing business. I'm just saying. No, there's nothing illegal buying it, so why not be able to write it off? We try to you got guns and drugs and freakos and all types of shit going on, but you want to hide the Astroglide. Yeah, I don't know why today's shit is starting off funnier than normal. What the fuck is going on, B? Why is today's shit funnier than normal, B? Oh shit. All right. I saw someone with long hair and a large endowment. What the fuck is about to go on here? James describes entering Diddy's hotel room one day on Star Island in Miami in 2008 and delivering him an iPad. James says, I knocked and there was no answer. So I used my key. I saw Cassie on the bed, a white comforter up on her neck. She did not move when I entered the room. He says someone walked across the room describing him as having long hair. All right. James says, Cassie in there with some other nigga, huh? Just, it was Diddy in there too? James says Combs was in the shower. Okay. And they believe, well, it doesn't make it okay. But I'm just saying, it's just like, Diddy's such a alleged freak that your girl could just be posted up in the tail in the bed with another nigga walking around half naked or whatever. Y'all freakos is at that level, huh? Where it's just like, yo, you with her for now, I'll be back later. Damn, that's the only reason I asked. Like, damn, was at least Diddy there? Like, we already know he'd be in other rooms and shit. It's just like, dude, I can still never understand the cuckold share my lady shit. I can't understand it. This is your main. You on the red carpet with her. They showing text mess evidence of I love you. Have a good day, queen. You are the center of my life. I miss you so much. This is not some random one night stand chick to you. This is, you love this woman. I never will understand the guys that's into that. I never will be. All right. He says someone walked across the room. All right. James says Combs was in the shower and he believed Cassie was sleeping. He goes on, this time she was on her back. She usually slept on her side. So you know that much about even how Cassie sleeps? What else have you seen? He says he never spoke to either of them about it and just thought they were doing personal things. James says he never had a conversation with Cassie or Diddy about their personal affairs. Yeah, you better not. Diddy will slap you upside your head, alleged for bringing up that shit. Yo, Diddy, I just want to let you know, man. Like when I walked in the other day, some dude was walking across the room. He wasn't dressed or whatever. You knew that, right? I just want to let you know. I was in the back in the shower. He punch you in the back of your head, tell you shut the fuck up. And again, give me your phone, bitch ass nigga. Let me check your phone. He thought it would be embarrassing for him. James discusses Diddy's drugs or drug use, and he says witnessed his boss taking Percocet and ecstasy. The rapper's former assistant tells the court Diddy would take ecstasy at night in the studio. James said he took an ecstasy pill himself at a New Year's Eve party, describing how it made him behave out of character. So here he is right here. And this is the assistant. So if this was, I think I remember once again, 2007 to 2009, he was the assistant of Diddy, which would have been 10, 1, and then another 10 is 11, and 5, like 16 years ago, right? 16, 17 years ago. All right. Normally, I'm very straight edge without much emotion. I don't care about all that. He says Diddy called him into his office a few days later and was viewing footage from the party. I got them tapes. I got them party tapes, B. He says Diddy asked if he had taken ecstasy, and when he said yes, he told him, "Okay, I will keep the footage if I need it." He thought it would be embarrassing for me, James adds. Ooh, that's not good. Because that's blackmail and shit, right? If I work for you and let's say the New Year's Eve party, let me think corporate. A lot of people going to work right now. Shout out to everybody that's watching the stream. Let me think corporate for a second. If if you go to your company New Year's Eve or Christmas parties, right? Those are considered off the clock. You got a lot of people that get their ass embarrassed and get in trouble for getting drunk in front of all their work colleagues and bosses and shit at the New Year's Eve or the Christmas parties, right? So let's say your company rents out the Trump Tower to throw their Christmas party. They don't own that space. You're off the clock. This, I assume, is to be considered personal time, even though you know you need to carry yourself in a certain business company like manner, right? But it's still off the record, off the company premises and all of this. That's still got to be classified as personal time. You didn't even have to go. Now, here I am at this New Year's Eve party. I'll pop an ecstasy pill. And then Diddy calls me into his office the next day, shows me, well, it's at his crib, right? So is the crib designated as business location? Well, if he's working as an assistant, damn, I'm trying to help the guy. And I might have just lost the angle. It's taking place at Diddy's crib. I might have just lost the angle that I was building up. But anyway, to show him that video like that, even if it's on the work premises, how is that then not blackmail? Because if my boss does that to me, whether I'm on company premises or not, company grounds or not, that's blackmail. I'll keep this. Like, why are you showing it to me? You show it to me because you think I'm doing something that's compromising myself, my integrity, my professionalism, that might embarrass me, as he's saying in his opinion it was done for. That is blackmail. Yeah. You don't have to say, I'm going to do this in case you do that for it to be classified as blackmail. Right? I could just show you something and just be like, yo, I just want to let you know I got that video, you nigga. And the implication to me, I'm going to interpret as blackmail. So that's not good. That's not good because they got all the the work labor and the work stuff of how he treated his employees stuff that's molded into his charges and some of the indictment, right? All right, intimidating lie detector test led by former FBI agent. What? What? Are you about to tell me he's giving niggas lie detector tests and he got a old Fed coming in to administer the test? James says there were times when valuables went missing, leaving Diddy upset. Mr. Combs did not like anyone to steal. None of us do. That was one of his big things, he tells the court. He describes one occasion when a Cartier bracelet went missing and his personal items was searched by security. James says on other occasions he had staff had to take lie detector tests. Once when Cash went missing, and an escort time when Diddy had a watch stolen. A second time when Diddy had a watch stolen. So I ain't mad at this. The lie detector test stuff seems excessive. It seems like because none of us we don't have access to it. I don't have one of the polygraph machines, and I damn sure don't got a Fed that I could hire to come in and do the fucking test for me. So because we don't have access to this shit, it seems excessive. But even in me and y'all, meager, humble, regular, normal lives that ain't like a Diddy type of lifestyle, you know what I'm saying? I got people in and out of my crib as assistants and employees or whatever. I'm flipping out too if some shit go missing. I'm checking videos too. I'm questioning everybody. Shit might go Martin. Even in Martin's little apartment, he sat everybody ass down. He had the fucking the fake Doberman walking around. You know what I'm saying? He put everybody on. What was that? That was just a little camcorder. The camcorders was big back then, but that was just a little camcorder, right? I'm just saying. So yeah, I'm flipping out. I got millions of dollars and shit laying around this crib, valuables, jewelry, watches, evidence, all types of stuff. Like, nah, I don't want even the principle of stealing. I don't want nothing to go misplaced. So I ain't mad at this. I'm just trying to step outside my own lifestyle to understand some niggas are gonna do a lie detector test behind something going missing. Oh shit. All right, that motherfucking Suge Knight. James describes an incident at Mel's Drive in a 24-hour burger bar in November 2008 involving guns and a rival music executive, Suge Knight. He said, it's like the second time Suge Knight's name is coming up, right? He says, Diddy was recording in the studio at around 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. and sent James to get cheeseburgers with D-Rock, his head of security. When they arrived, James says, D-Rock said that motherfucking Suge Knight. Knight was a music executive and the chairman of Death Row Records. We know who Knight was. He's currently serving 28 years. They're both in jail right now. How ironic. That's crazy. As much as they were rivals, Diddy and Suge Knight. 2050, yeah, the hit and run he's still there for. Okay. James says Knight asked if they were Diddy's boys and did a dab. He says when they went inside to get the food, they saw 4 black SUVs pull into the car park or the parking lot and hand Knight a gun, at which point D-Rock said, we got to go. James describes going to Diddy's house and telling him about the incident. He says Diddy replied, motherfucker, go. All right. There was then complete silence and a sense of calm as they drove back to the restaurant in a black Escalade, he adds. So y'all went back? Okay, Diddy. Well, you ain't go back. You sent niggas back, huh? James says Knight wasn't there when they returned. I was really shook up by this. Or by it. This was the first time as his assistant that I realized my life was in danger, he adds. Noting he told Diddy he wanted to leave the company soon afterwards. All right, so you're claiming that you quit after some gangster shit started happening. So the picture that they paint in here is that y'all was doing studio time, 4 a.m. in the morning, whatever. Diddy sent y'all to go get some burgers. When y'all was there, Knight or Suge and his people were there, and they started arming up and tooling up because they recognized who y'all were, and y'all possibly was with Diddy. Maybe they recognized somebody like D-Rock. And then when y'all went back and told Diddy, Diddy said, no, go back. Go back. Did he send the assistant? I'm sorry, but this guy's pictures and him crying up there on the stand, there's no way that Diddy thought that he was tough. No, you're there to turn on the TVs. You're there to bring me the condoms and shit. You're there to bring me the Astroglide. You're not here to go back 4 a.m. in the morning because niggas just crossed paths with Suge. So was he sent? I don't know. I don't know about that. That wouldn't be a good boss call on Diddy because you got to know who's in your circle. You sending him for some gangster shit. If some gangster shit happens, he's gonna be the one to fucking tell. You got to know who you got around, who you can send for that, and who you can't. And look, the nigga quit after that. I ain't built for this. I ain't built for nobody. I ain't built for nobody. Yeah, I know who you got around you, Diddy. Choose your hitters wisely. The fuck? Diddy had 3 guns with him. James has now finished giving evidence and being cross-examined by Mark Anifalo, who is leading Diddy's defense. He asked James if he knew who Knight was, to which James answers, "Of course. I grew up listening to hip hop." The former assistant says that when they got back to Diddy's house, Combs and Cassie were outside arguing in the street. James says Cassie didn't want them to go back to the diner and was stressed, telling Diddy not to go. Oh, did Diddy go too? He confirms that when they returned to the diner, Diddy had 3 guns. Okay, Diddy. Diddy went 3 guns. Okay. Um. Okay. His lawyer asked then he had 3 guns on his person when you got to the house. James says, "I guess." Well, you can't guess that. Did he have 1, 2, 3? Was he right hip, left hip, back, small of his back? Like, was it on him or not? Yeah, dude. Like in shootouts, nobody. Have you ever seen that outside of movies? People, I empty my right hip, I empty my left hip, and I pull. This doesn't. That's just not real life in shootouts. Like, if anything, you're Diddy and you're going to war, right? You need that one clip to be what you want to have, right? Just pop up with a 30 or some shit. You're not in the midst of a shootout. It's like, who are you, Rambo? This better not be true, Diddy. Relax. A moment of levity in a heavy case. All right. During cross examination, James is told by a defense lawyer, "I have a few more mundane questions." James answers, "I like mundane questions," which is met with laughter in the courtroom. Calm down. You was just up there crying. Now you want to be cute and sarcastic and try to make jokes in the court? Calm down, James. Sit your ass down. Come on, chill out. The former assistant goes on to describe the reason he wanted to work for Diddy, telling the court, "I was a fan of him. I wore Sean John clothes early on. I wanted to work for him. He was successful, self made, brilliant, and a brilliant marketer." Okay, cool. Diddy did not sign autographs. James is now discussing Diddy's security detail, explaining that he needed a second vehicle whenever he traveled around. James says security was suspicious of anyone trying to approach him. There would be people walking up to him and try to touch him or get autographs, yada yada. Okay, that does nothing for me personally. You get tired, you get fired. Yeah, 8 a.m. to 4 a.m. is your schedule. If you're accepting the 8 a.m. to 4 a.m. schedule, you can't get tired. You ain't working a 9 to 5. Your hours is different, B. Earlier in his testimony, we heard from James that he frequently worked 20-hour days and 6-day weeks for weeks on end. All right. Defense attorney asks, "You're a hard worker and you enjoyed it?" James answers, "I did at times. The security detail would always say, if you get tired, you get fired." He recalls one time he had ran a red light and Combs asked him what he was doing. And okay, James says, "I turned around and he said, 'I'm fucking tired.'" Attorney says, "You didn't get fired?" James says, "No." All right. And that actually helps Diddy. What the fuck? Like, all right. One key, well, this is cross examiner, right? So obviously they're there to help him, right? Yeah, this is Diddy's defense that's now questioning. Okay. One key item on Diddy's rider, briefly discussing riders, the specific list of requirements given by an artist ahead of their appearance at a venue. James says Diddy had different riders for different situations. He's Diddy. Yeah. He's even Daylight tried to give me a rider one time when we were booking. He was half trolling me, but artists like to have riders. Like, I can only imagine what Diddy shit is. He says Heinz 57 was one of Diddy's key rider items, explaining in the UK they didn't have Heinz, and ketchup was a big part of his diet. Okay. He's Diddy, so he's got these elaborate requests, and y'all are gonna do it. So the life of a billionaire. What do you expect, man? Some billionaires, some people do this type of shit, not all. James appears to be referring to tangy, spicy blend of well-known ketchup. Oh, what the fuck? All right. Writer, oh no, I'm sorry. Write her a note and buy her a gift. James describes the whatever that is among Combs staff. I don't even know what that word is. We were employees. We worked for Bad Boy Entertainment. We were all there to support Mr. Combs to make sure he had a happy and prepared. He was happy and prepared for the day. What did he get paid? I want to know that. What does an assistant like this get paid? That's working 20-hour days, 6 days a week for weeks on end, and you're like Diddy's little do boy. So all the way down to turn the TV on for him. What is somebody like him getting paid by a multi millionaire that's super successful? Curious. What? Because I want to know the number that makes a man stay through this type of work environment, these type of work conditions, these type of job details and description. I want to know what makes him. Is he getting a smooth mill from Diddy? There's a lot of people that's watching the stream that might say, hey, from what I'm reading so far, shit, I'll do that for a mill. I get to travel, I get to hang out, I get to be around celebrities. I gotta wake. I only got 4 hours to sleep, but why you run that red light, nigga? I'm tired. we just what I'm saying. Like, what is he paying somebody to endure this type of stuff? You can't do no $50,000 a year for this. You gotta feel like you're being compensated. Like, yo, the job is shit sometimes and it's tough sometimes, but shit, at least I'm making a mill too. Like, what is he being paid? And remember, even that gets taxed, people. All right. He recalls Combs' mother, who he refers to as Mama Combs, once calling him her son. She has been supporting Diddy in court, but is not today or that present day. All right. James is asked who in Diddy's staff he was closest to. He says he was closest to the chef. He was asked if he ever choked, and the chef answers no. James says an incident occurred between him and the chef in the kitchen on Star Island, Miami. He says she was telling me how to do my job. I grabbed her wrist and I told her to stay in her lane. Oh, you tried to tell the chef what the security guards told you. All right. He says it was reported to corporate headquarters and Combs heard about it. Damn. So shit that's going on even around the crib and shit. So at least there's some structure there. Reported to corporate headquarters. And it called him into his room. James said Combs told him write her a note and buy her a gift and warned him that he would be fired if it happens again. Yeah, all right. So he likes the chef. Said it was a woman, right? Might be taking it down, but the chef, your food. I don't know. Maybe you value that more than this guy that's turning on your TV. So I did not want to make a false report. James is now being re-questioned by the prosecution. All right, so they're back up. He is asked if Christy Slavic, if he ever witnessed violence between Combs and his personal chef. James said he did. In Alpine, New Jersey, he says Chef Jordan was not there and they were trying to find a replacement for the day. He says Combs told him to make a police report that Chef Jordan hit him first. He says he did not file it because he did not want to make a false report. James says, I went out and came back and told him I made a report. Okay. All right. So violence and slapping or hitting on people that's in his circle, not just Cassie, allegedly. Cassie's best friend could catch a hanger to the head and a concussion, allegedly. The chef replacement could catch a black eye. All right. Hold on. I got music that's playing in my ear on accident. But at this point, um, everybody believes that Diddy can be an aggressive, short-tempered person. So what are we doing here? Right? Damn, why did my chat just mess up? It can't be from the audio button I just hit. Hold on, where's my chat? Shout out to the chat. Shout out to everybody coming in. But I know it's earlier shift for y'all. I know I'm here earlier than normal for some people, but what's up with my chat? Why is my chat not working? Where's my live chat? My chat is messed up. I can't read my damn chat. I'm going to hold on, y'all. I'll be right back. I'm going to refresh. It should take 5 seconds. I'm going to get right back to this. It looks like hold on. It looked like they took a break. All right, so this was the break in the day. Give me 1 second. Let me refresh so I could at least get my chat working. Hold on. All right. Why is my live chat messed up? What's up, y'all? I see y'all still. Something wrong with my live chat. All right. Let's get back to this though. All right. They took a break. Around typical lunchtime that they've been taking. All right, let's get back. Let's see what's going on. All right. Is this where Cassie's mother now takes the stand? Okay. Cassie's mother recalls meeting Combs for the first time. Okay, Regina Ventura is being questioned by Emily Johnston for the prosecution. Okay. She says she is retired with 2 children, okay, and lives in Connecticut. She is shown a photo and confirms it is Sean Combs saying that he dated my daughter. Come on, don't treat her that old. Like, do you understand that this is Sean Combs right here? Is that Sean Combs over there sitting in the courtroom too? She says she met him for the first time in 2006 when Diddy signed Cassie to his record label. She says they subsequently started dating, living first in New York and later moved to LA. Okay, Regina confirms she saw Cassie around 2 or 4 times a year, with her daughter always coming home for the holidays. Okay, that's typical. She lives across the country, so all right. Diddy threatened to release two explicit sex tapes of Cassie. The mother knows about this. Damn. Okay. So Regina has just been shown an exhibit of an email sent by Cassie on the 23rd of December in 2011, telling her mother that Diddy was going to release two explicit sex tapes. So this sounds like Cassie just prepping her mother. Like, listen, mom, if a sex tape comes out and hits the news or hits the internet about me, I just want to let you know. Okay. Cassie said Diddy planned to release one on Christmas Day and a second one shortly. Damn, what was he allegedly blackmailing or trying to set her straight about? The fuck? The message also said Diddy had told Cassie he would have someone hurt her, and Scott Mascuti, the real name of of Kid Cudi, physically. You told this to the mother? Or was this in the email? Cassie wrote, he made a point that it wouldn't be by his hands. He actually said he would be out of the country when it happened. When asked what she thought when she saw the email, Cassie's mother, I was physically sick. I did not understand it. The sex tape threw me. He was trying to hurt my daughter. The prosecution asked if Diddy demanded 20,000 because Cassie was having a relationship with Kid Cudi. Okay. Cassie's mother says, we took a home equity loan, and that was the only way we can get the money. She says Diddy was angry that Cassie was dating someone else after he had spent money on her. She says her bank account shows they sent the money to the Bad Boy Records account and says they took out the loan to pay it because Diddy demanded it. So Diddy is helping them with the crib, helping the mom and Cassie with, his mother's crib and whatnot. It sounds like allegedly, you know how this comes off. It comes off like I got so much going on with Cassie, and if I've done anything for your family, if I feel wronged by Cassie, I'm gonna threaten the people close to you too, because I've done things for them. Like here, me and Cassie, me and you's locked in. You know what I'm saying? You my lady. I slap you around. Allegedly, I did things. We got all this shit going on. But I also didn't set your mom's 20 grand for the crib. Allegedly, right? Some shit like that. And if you get out of pocket, your mom's gonna have to suffer too. I'm helping both y'all at times. So I mean, it's disgusting behavior to be including this old lady in your affairs and your situation with Cassie. It's disgusting shit. But you also look at it too. Sometimes when people break up, they break up with the families and they got issues with the families or you might feel like the family's in cahoots. You knew your daughter was cheating on me with this Kid Cudi mother. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Diddy he's coming off and not just this trial, but even before that, as a very, very jealous person. So I could see the spiteful nature bleeding into Cassie's mother at times with certain incidents. I can see that. So some of this shit definitely. All right. Yeah, the Kid Cudi situation. She says her bank account. Okay. I was trying to hit him, but I wasn't successful. Oh, Cassie's mom's tried to pop on Diddy one time. Cassie's mom is now showing photos she took of her daughter in December 2011, showing her with visible injuries. No mother or father wants to see that. You hitting on my child? All right. Cassie's mom says she took them because she took the pictures because Cassie was rude. So when we asked that the other day, remember I was like, is this Cassie taking the pictures herself? So those pictures allegedly her mother took. Wow. So your mother is in in the know of her daughter being abused, and she's taking pictures for her records as well. Mm, okay. And I wanted to make sure we memorize or memorialized it. Don't memorialize it. Y'all all get the fuck away from this guy. But okay, let's continue. She says Cassie shaved her head in 2009 and kept it like that for 4 to 5 years. She probably thinks Diddy is the reason why. Okay, Cassie's mom goes on to describe arguing bitterly with Diddy outside Cassie's apartment in early 2012 after the holidays when she says he took Cassie's phone. She says she tried to hit him, but she wasn't successful. She said Diddy then drove off in Cassie's Jaguar. Cassie's mom has now finished giving evidence, and there are no defense questions for her. She leaves the stand. So they didn't cross her. Interesting. I wonder why the defense didn't want to cross examine. What do y'all think about that? Diddy's side decided not to cross examine Cassie's mother. Do you feel like she knows so much, seen so much, heard about so much that all this could do is her? Let's just get her off that stand no matter what. There's nothing that you could come up, no contradictions, no nothing that you feel like you could put in front of her to help with the prosecution. Just questioned her on and put in front of the jury. There's nothing that you wanted to use. I feel like any witness can be crossed, right? Like, even if it's just one question, just get up there. One question. How you doing, Miss Ventura? I'm doing well. Yeah, sorry you had to be down here today. Try to lighten it a little bit, lighten the mood. But you are aware once again that your daughter was in a long-term relationship with Mr. Combs, correct? Yes. Do you believe that any physical altercations happened in the midst of their relationship? Yes, I do. Um, are you aware that there were times that Cassie, your daughter, cheated on my client or Sean Combs with Kid Cudi or with other men, or that at times she would also hit him as well? No further questions. Anything, anything. They left her alone. I wonder if that was a real good tactic for them that they came up with, or fear. Hmm. All right. No cross examination for Cassie's mother, unless I'm missing something. Yeah, Miss Ventura has now finished giving evidence, and there are no defense questions for her. She leaves the stand. Okay. The Punisher takes the stand. I believe this is a male escort. Yeah, male escort. They got his real name here. Now steps on the stand. The 51-year-old from Harlem, same place as Diddy, is wearing a suit. He explains that he is a male exotic dancer whose stage name is the Punisher, and says he performs strip teases in New York City for bachelorette parties. He explains he first got his nickname in his teens from playing basketball rather than stripping. Um, so when some of y'all was in my chat the other day, y'all said, "Yo, ARP, chill out, stop snitching," because I was talking about bachelorettes and bachelor parties. Look at the tie-in right there. I was like, yo, freak offs. What y'all think be happening at these bachelor parties and these bachelorette parties? And why some of these viral videos where niggas try to get married and the day of, while they're all up there, somebody breaks it off. Well, you know what I'm saying? You know how many marriages were killed because of the bachelor or the bachelorette party? We just call them bachelor or bachelorette parties. You guys just like the movie fucking what should we call it? Hangover. You know what I'm saying? They're freak offs. They're fucking freak offs. Remember the episode with Martin, with Gina and all them? They had the Punisher show up, and Martin and them was underneath the bed, and niggas is hiding in the closet trying to catch Gina cheating. Freak offs, B. The fuck? Freak offs happen every day, B. Why you think Boosie is so defending of Diddy? He's like, man, next thing you know, we can't even fly a bitch out. That's a Diddy. I mean, that's what people like Boosie's protecting. Like, I don't want no charges for sex trafficking because I flew an Instagram model in. The fuck? Yo, I wish I could see. My chat is fucked up right now. I want to see if y'all disagree with me. I know I'm not tripping right now. I don't know what's happening in my chat today, people. I'm trying to fix my chat. What the hell is wrong with my chat? I gotta fix my chat. All right, let's go. Exotic dancer details. First encounter with Cassie and Combs. Okay. Hayes, also known as the Punisher, says he was hired in autumn of 2012 to create a sexy exotic scene for the husband and the woman who said her name was Janet. He says he was asked to go to the Trump Tower in Central Park West in early hours of the morning. Hayes says he was told to bypass security when he arrived and go straight up to the suite where he was greeted by Cassie. He says she was wearing a bathrobe, a wig, and nothing else. He explained she invited me into the hotel suite. I was expecting a crowd and asked her if she wanted me to change. She said her husband and her wanted to create a sexy scene of me and her applying baby oil on each other and create a sexy environment that her husband would come up on. Okay. So did he thought he was showing up for a bachelorette type of party? He said he was expecting a party, but it's just Cassie in a wig and a robe. And she's like, yo, just come in. It's just me and my husband. We want to create a scene with you. So he turned himself from a stripper to a sex worker at that point. No? Are they gonna tell me that he took her down in the midst of this? They got into their freak off regular shit? Because at that point, you turned yourself, like, let's think legally. You turned yourself into a sex worker on the low. You thought you were showing up for a bachelorette party or some shit to do a strip tease. Legally, how they gonna cross that? How's defense gonna cross that? I'm curious. We're gonna get there. Bypass security and go straight up to the suite. All right, it says wearing a bathrobe, and the name was Janet. So is that so much saying that when he got there is Cassie? He didn't know he's showing up for Diddy and Cassie. He got the name Janet. She's the one that opens the door. Like, the fuck is going on? Okay, Cassie, fuck it. Let's go. Is that a perk of the job? You might show up and just, hey, there's probably some fucked up shit you walk into as well, right? You might think that this right here is fucked up. We'll see. Try not to look at him. Oh, what? She's trying to hide Diddy. She's trying to hide Cassie's trying to hide Diddy's who he is. All right, where the bathroom display. She invited me in the hotel, blah, blah. Try not to look at him. He says Cassie gave him a sack of money before telling him to change into his underwear. He says he counted the cash. It was 800. That's it. Y'all niggas moving around, putting y'all lives and all type of shit and freedom and all that at risk. 800? 800? This is Diddy and Cassie only gave you $800. I would expect them to, especially being scared that y'all might identify them and talk. I don't know. I didn't hear nothing about no NDA here, neither. If I'm Diddy and Cassie, I'm pulling this type of bullshit, man. NDA, and you got to get paid more than that. I even pay my Grubhub and DoorDash people and all that more because you kind of just want to establish like a little bit more trust. Niggas might still try to reach in and steal a fry or some shit, but you want to make people feel like it's being worth their, you know what I'm saying? I'd be having like a $30 meal sometimes for lunch, $40, $50 bill for lunch, but you still might get a $20 tip. It's definitely more than 10% at a restaurant. You try to buy the trust. Look, man, we in this together. Like, whether it's DoorDash or a freak off. How I just created a parallel of DoorDash and freak off. I'm a matrix thinking weird guy sometimes. People stay with me. Y'all know how I pod. Reference king. All right. All right. He says Cassie told them not to acknowledge her husband and to try not to look at him and no communication. Yeah, they're hiding him. Wow. He says there were electronic candles. All the furniture was covered in sheets. There were bowls of water with baby oil in them. Hayes then describes going into the hotel room wearing just a towel and applying baby oil. He says Diddy then came into the room naked, but he says he could not see his face. This male worker, sex worker, or a stripper, whatever, he's tripping. That's gotta be dangerous. No, that don't scare you, dude. I mean, God knows what else this guy has already done in his past, but and maybe he saw that 800, was like, bet, let's go. Maybe he saw Cassie and said, bet, let's go. But I feel like a setup and like, the guy that's about to come in here, my husband, don't look at him. Don't acknowledge him. You can't talk. I get it. Y'all creating your own sexy ass freak scene or whatever, but this shit is weird. God knows what this guy does in his line of work on the regular anyway. So he's probably seen a bunch of weird shit in his time. This guy Punisher. Wow. Hayes then describes going into the hotel room wearing just a towel and applying baby oil. He says Diddy then came into the room naked, but he says he could not see his face. All right. He says he was carrying Astro. He's just walking in with the Astro Glide. The fuck? He was carrying Astro Glide. My bad, y'all. Just to walk in with him. Yo, Diddy, man. Diddy. The whole world already knows how much of a freaky ass nigga you are. But you're a little goofy too. He's a goofy, freaky, weird, violent nigga, allegedly. It's a weird mix. A violent, freaky nigga is different. Oh shit! The fuck y'all got me reading? Y'all know I did this is part of live reaction. You know I haven't read none of this yet. So, oh my god. Ah, I don't know why I'm shocked. I feel like we all know this about the man already, but when you read some of this shit, it's just, the fuck y'all got going on in that room? Oh, in all seriousness, though, the more and more freaky this trial makes him, it's possible that that's the more and more innocent you will make him. Because you got a lot of people just saying it's just a freaky ass nigga in his own personal life. Like what he wants to do in his own sex life with him and his girl, if she's down, is on them. That's on y'all. Oh man. And I still say, if he is found innocent, there will still be 1,000 people on his yacht party, women on his yacht party the very next week. They won't give a fuck. They just like, yo, it's a party, it's lit, it's up. Celebrities there, we there, girl. They won't give a fuck. We know that girl, the shop with my own Astro Glide. Real shit. Oh man. Dude, I was trying to be professional. He says he was carrying Astro Glide. How do you what is the classification of being professional in a situation like this? It's a freak off. What do you mean I was trying to be professional? I was trying to be professional. He was carrying Astro Glide. He went to the chair in the opposite side of the room, and then he was masturbating. He goes on to describe Diddy giving Cassie directions. So that's why he's carrying the Astro Glide for his damn self. Cassie's directions so he could get a better view. Cassie is just as freaky, y'all. Like she's doing this with Diddy. Like we are pleasuring each other by letting another man pleasure me. Well, it's our private life, but after around half of an hour, he says, Diddy left the room and Cassie followed him out before returning and asking him if he wanted to finish. He says, I was trying to be professional, so I declined. That's what being professional was, huh? Hayes says Cassie gave him an additional 12,000. All right, because that $800 deposit was a little sketchy. I agree. I was about to say, dude, she handed you a bag of 800 and you ain't say, I'm in a Trump Tower right now. And Cassie just opened the door. And now you telling me, oh, I'm looking like, where's the party at? And like, there's no party, it's just me and my husband. And you passed me 800? Like, that's it. 12,000 for somebody that's doing bachelorette parties and strip teases sounds much better. Okay. Especially if you want him to maintain some level of secrecy or at least loyalty or appreciation. Like they gave me a big ass bag, so I don't want to throw them under the bus. Like, you know what I'm saying? Once again, I gave you a big tip. Don't touch my fries in my bag, dog. I gave you a big ass tip. Grubhub or DoorDash, whatever. Hayes says Cassie gave him an additional 12 grand as he left. He tells the court he now knows the man was Diddy, so he didn't know that time, and was contacted a second time to go to Essex House Hotel. Oh, at that point, he probably did. Okay. He says he thinks he went to meet Cassie and Combs around 8 to 12 times in total. I could see the reoccurring thing because you develop the trust with somebody. You know, the performance thing is out. How the freak off went is one thing. That's on y'all, whether y'all happy that how it went or not, whether you enjoyed it or not. But I gotta assume in that world, what's also important, especially for a Diddy, is the trust. All right, we worked with this guy 2, 3 times. I ain't seen nothing end up in the tabloids. I ain't seen no pictures hit the internet or whatever. You build up the trust in each other, you know. So people like to be familiar with shit. You want to use the same drug dealer. You want to use the same weed man. You want to use the same sex slave, right? I could understand that if you're Diddy and Cassie, why this guy says like shit. I worked about 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 times. I could understand that. He explains further along the line. I saw his face. He would wear a baseball cap, and I noticed his face. Ironically, I'm a fan and follow him on Instagram, realizing like, oh shit, it's Diddy. It gotta be a crazy moment. It gotta be embarrassing for Diddy too. Like, how does Diddy imagine like you got this sex worker that pulled up to the crib or to the hotel, and imagine crossing paths with him in the hotel room or whatever. You was over there jerking off while he was fucking Cassie, and you was possibly on FaceTime in the other room. We heard about all this shit already, right? These different ways they set this shit up. But imagine crossing paths and it's not dark enough, or the shadow don't hit the right way, and the hat lifts up, and you catch this full all-out eye contact with the sex worker. That's gotta be embarrassing as shit because you know that you are a household name. You're like, this nigga just looked me dead in my fucking eyes and realized I'm the one that's over here in the corner jerking off with Astroglide while he's fucking my girl. That's gotta be embarrassing. But I'm free. Yeah, 69 God. Hey. Court breaks for lunch. The Punisher is back on the stand after lunch. They still going with him, huh? He wanted us to keep our bodies covered to shine. That's where all the baby oil stuff is coming in. Okay. Male escort Sharay Hayes describes going along to different hotels in New York to meet Cassie and Diddy, often on Friday and Saturday nights. The dancer, who goes by the name Punisher, says the encounters would start at around 2:30 a.m. and sometimes last till 11 a.m. I don't need the details, but a lot of men are seeing this and hearing about some of these shit coming out of court, and just like, is it straight through? Like, yeah, even women. There's a lot of women that complain. Like, there's a very sexual men out there. There's very sexual women out there, and 2 hours, cool. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of women, if they keeping it real, right? They got time windows that they like. All women is different, but some women might tell your ass like, "Yo, come on, man, that last time was 90 minutes." Like, I started to actually start to hurt. Like, oh, what? Like, there's women that keep it G like that. The fuck are y'all doing from 2:30 to 11? 2:30 to 11. All right. Getting your money's worth? Your 12.8 worth? He describes a routine which would start with Cassie texting him. Yo, free calls can't be written off on your taxes, can they? Under entertain, so yeah, because y'all spend a lot of money. I'll leave it alone. I'll leave it alone. It always started the same to create a sexy scene, but I understand it could escalate to sexual activity, oral sex or penetrative sex. Always a similar pattern, but baby oil on each other and create a look, a sexy atmosphere, he explains. He says Diddy would at some point come into the room, sit in the distance, and give instruction to Miss Ventura. He says the routine was always the same and always featured candles and covered the furniture. Baby oil stains, right? Yeah, so it cover all that shit up. But now that the point where they're saying he's giving instruction, remember the first time he said when he got to the Trump Tower, there was no Cassie was like, you can't talk to him. So now he's comfortable to the point where because everybody's going to recognize Diddy's voice if he's there giving instruction to Cassie, right? So they're at the level of comfort now where we all know what's going on. My hat lifted up. You know it's me. It's all good. I bet this is our seventh time together. You know what it is. Oh, man. One time during sex, he says, Diddy asked Cassie, are you okay? Hayes describes the considerable amount of baby oil used during the performances, saying he wanted us to keep our bodies covered to shine. He says each encounter lasted about 4 hours, made up a lot of waiting time, and then 45 minutes of sexual activity. Okay, so that's the whole 2:30 to 11, a little bit mentioned there. He says when he was instructed to finish, he would finish. Diddy would then leave the room and Cassie would follow. After waiting for a while, Cassie would return and tell him he could leave. Hayes says he got paid between 1,200 and 2,000 each time. That first time was 12 stacks, though. That's a dip. Yeah. This first time was 12 grand. You're gonna start the guy off at 12 grand, and then now the other occasions is 12 to 2 grand. Now wonder he's up on the stand telling on y'all asses. No wonder he's testifying against y'all ass. Gave me 12 grand. Well, 12.8 when he walked in, and 12 grand when he left, 800 when he came in, and 12,000 when he left. And now you give him 1,200, 2 grand. And now Diddy's doing the instructions and shit. The fuck? Yeah, y'all chopped his price down, huh? Defense objects to male escort's fetish description. Objection. Stop talking that much detail about the baby oil. Asked about Cassie's enjoyment level, Hayes says, oh, that's important. If this is the defense asking it, but oh no, this is still prosecution. We were creating a sexy scene that was enjoyable for her partner. It was a fetish type thing. Oh, so he's kind of putting it on Diddy. The defense objects to this description. Yep, they should object to that. They should have a problem with that because now he's testifying. I don't even know if it was for her, she enjoyed it or not. It's really about Diddy's fetish. Okay, yeah, that's not good for Diddy. Hayes goes on. I did occasionally see her sigh or wince from the frequency of the direction. It was random. He says prior to sex, Cassie would chat to him about his business and how things were going, what he calls typical interaction. Okay, regular shit, regular talk. He said during sex, Cassie was definitely seeking cues and would look in the direction of Combs. Why did he just get into the porn industry? There's nothing wrong with getting into the porn industry. Even Snoop Dogg got into the porn industry. Snoop Dogg did a couple full-length videos. They was called, was they the same name of his album? Doggy Style? I forget. Snoop Dogg got pornos, B. There's probably a couple other rappers that did them too. There's a couple rappers that got into the porn industry. They wasn't acting in them. They wasn't in the scenes or nothing like that. But they just saw the porn industry as a hustle. So, like, if I don't want to pull up the stats right now, but the amount of money that's spent in the porn industry per year is through the roof. People spend a lot of money in that world, from the toys to the videos and the subscriptions and all that type of shit. It's a huge industry. And you've seen some entrepreneurs, like once again, people like Snoop Dogg that said, shit, let me go get some bread out of that. So Diddy, if you over here conducting these scenes and everything, maybe that could get you your fulfillment. You just go into the porn world, direct scenes over there, and you could be off camera jerking off, and you will never get in trouble for it. You'll never get in trouble for this shit. You could be in a corner directing and jerking off, and you hire these porn stars, not your girlfriend, not your wife. You know what I'm saying? And direct these scenes. Hire the people that look like Cassie. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, why Cassie though? Is my thing. He should have been doing this type. If you was that freak and this is really how you get off, do this shit behind Cassie's back. No, like why turn out your main? I just can't process that. But if you getting off by directing these sex scenes and these porn scenes or whatever, go into the porn world, dog. It's right there legally for you. The porn world is one of the biggest industries in the world. It's entertainment industries in the world. It's right there. Go. You're Diddy. You can get in like this. All them fucking porn directors and producers or whatever, probably Diddy could get in touch with any of them in a split second. Go over there. Pull a Snoop Dogg. The fuck? Oh, man. All right. When asked, he says, Cassie never refused to perform with him. Sometimes I felt anxiety, so there were problems getting and obtaining an erection. He adds, okay, this is a mature stream, people. All right. So we're going to read a couple words here and there that don't do the whole, there's no teenagers on here, hopefully. All right. I don't want to hear pause. I don't want to hear that. Grown men and women over here. All right, people. So I'm going to read this shit as it is. Fuck y'all. He says he would take Cialis and Viagra to try to tackle his issue. Hayes says the last time he performed in March 2015, Diddy was assertive and aggressive, which left him and Cassie startled. He said he was unable to perform, and although he was paid, he wasn't called back again. So he tried to say he couldn't perform because Diddy scared him. Y'all look crazy, son. Yo, Diddy and Cassie mentioned in Exotic Dance's erectile dysfunction book. He wrote a book. Oh, he did name them in a book. So once again, no shock that he's up there on the stand. He wrote a book and named them. Diddy and Cassie didn't go after him for his book. No cease and desist. No sue. No. Word. Let's hold on. Oh, it's published this year. Okay, so it's published while he's already going through this shit. Oh, this is publicity for him. Wait a minute. He dropped his book this year while Diddy was already in jail and he's the top of the headlines news cycle. Then he drops his book. Then he comes on the stand and testifies. Cross, you better use that. Published in 2025 is titled In Search of Freezer Meat. The Cross better use that. A story of male mental issue crisis caused by erectile dysfunction and the only true cure no one is talking about, a penis implant. So you're going to get people that got ED copying your book, I guess, right? But imagine the amount of people just from the shade room TMZ type of side of things that just want to get to the chapter of you talking about you with Diddy and Cassie. This is a commercial. You up on this stand. This is one of the best trailers you could have. This is one of the best forms of promotion you could ever have for your fucking book. Testifying in the trial about a ED moment that you had with Cassie and Diddy. The defense better use that. Wow. I'm not saying that makes his shit not true, you know? But when you're the defense, you gotta pick apart and try to put motives in front of the jurors. Right? I just clearly see one there, and I'm not here fighting for Diddy. I'm just saying. Hayes says he mentions Diddy and Cassie in the book, describing them as a married couple. He says the situation was sensationalized, so it would be relatable, centered around highs and lows around ED. Punisher asked about professional dry humping. Yo, they got him on the stand longer than Cassie's. So the assistant did testify yesterday. They got him back here. They had him back here for day 7. the personal assistant, and then they got him out of here. Cassie's mom was up there for 10 minutes, got her out of there. Defense didn't even want to cross her. This Punisher male escort guy got the whole second half of the day. Oh my God, dry humping? Hayes now moves into cross-examination from the defense, questioned by Xavier Donaldson. No Brian Steele in any of these crosses am I seeing yet. Okay. Donaldson asks, freezer meat? Hayes answers, like you put meat in the freezer, which is met with huge laughter from the court. Hayes tells the jury he had been struggling with ED for a long time ahead of working with Diddy and Cassie. Okay. Donaldson asks him about his business, putting together groups of male strippers to perform at bachelorette parties semi-nude or in underwear. He says, professional dry humping, 25 years. We are talking thousands of ladies. So that's part of the job description of a male stripper doing bachelorette parties or whatnot. Professional dry humper, they put. Dude is crazy. He's selling his book on the low, whether he knows it or not, whether it's intentional or not. He is asked if he developed feelings for Cassie and says he did not. He agrees he should have said yes. That would help him sell his book too. He should have been like a little bit. He agrees that he felt special because he was chosen to perform with Cassie and Diddy around 8 to 12 times. He said he felt special for that. I said earlier, I think, you build up a level of trust as well. So Combs was the director. You were the actors. Defense is now trying to establish Cassie's willingness during their interactions. Donaldson asks, which is always going to be a theme that they have to go after: consensual. When you were with Cassie, you did not get any cues that there was discomfort. Hayes replies, that is correct. He asks again, no cues about any discomfort. Hayes again answers, that is correct. All right. He is asked if he does prostitution, and he says he does not. Oh, what's the definitions around that though? You pulled up the first time at the Trump Tower, took an $800 deposit. You thought you was showing up for stripping, and then they started to direct you into a freak off. Of course, he's gonna say no because he don't want to get up there and catch no charges and put those labels on himself, right? But he is asked, once you started intercourse with Mr. Combs, would say do this and do that. Hayes agrees. Okay. Donaldson says, you didn't do anything she didn't want to do. Hayes says, it seemed like it was consensual as far as I was concerned. Well, he definitely can't say it was non-consensual, right? Because he's physically in the act. So that's another great angle that you could easily pull from the cross-examination by the defense here. The lawyer confirms, Combs was the director. You were the actors. He says that is so. Yeah, being the director and being the actor is not going to carry any different. Like if you're starting to establish sex trafficking or prostitution, you know what I'm saying? Like you're not going to say I'm in the clear because I was the actor, or I'm in the clear because I was the director. It's Birdman voice, all three of y'all. Real shit, right? So great questions here by the defense. He says that is so, and also confirms he never saw drugs or filming during their interactions. During a brief redirection with prosecution, now they come back. Hayes describes one occasion when he believes Cassie was enjoying herself. Foster then clarifies that at other times, Cassie would wince and sigh, and her focus was on Mr. Combs, which Hayes agrees with. He says Cassie showed a consistent awareness to Mr. Combs' direction and his perception and his desires of the moment. The Punisher's questioning is now over. I think they both got stuff, right? If he's done there, we're gonna get into this next piece in a second. But now that they're done with this guy Hayes, one of the escorts that was allegedly involved in Diddy and Cassie's freak-offs from 8 to 12 times. And the pictures that's being painted is Diddy directing these sex scenes between him and Cassie. And we're not even hearing details of Diddy physically partaking in them, just sitting off in the fucking corner with his Astroglide and jerking off as he's watching Dude and Cassie. And they're taking directions from him. Okay. Now, on the prosecution side, man, from what we got out of this, his testimony, the sex trafficking thing, the prostitution thing, I guess you saw the question of you consider yourself a prostitute, right? I guess this adds to that side, right? This guy showing up at the Trump Towers and getting paid to fuck and to do this shit. But the defense clearly went after one of their biggest, most common narratives that they're going to continue to use: consensual, consenting adults doing what they do, consenting adults. Even asking him questions like, "Does she look uncomfortable?" You know, like, all right, all right. Diddy's 20,000 square foot waterside mansion. 20,000 is a lot. 20,000 is a big spot. I ain't gonna lie to you. We now meet our 10th witness, Special Agent Gerard Gannon. I think this is the person that's going to talk about stuff from the raid. All right, Gannon says there were 80 to 90 people involved in the search, and due to the size of Diddy's home, which was around 20,000 square feet. So you had 80 to 90 people ransack this 20,000 square foot mansion. I wonder how long they spent in there, though. They're going to say that. Did they take 1 day, 2 days, a week? How long did they take in there, though? Because they probably trying to turn every little stone over. I mean, if you're raiding Diddy's crib with these type of charges, a RICO that you're bringing, you're probably even digging up holes in the backyard. Let's see if there's buried cash, buried bodies. Real talk. No bullshit. No bullshit. You got to spend a lot of time. If you bringing a RICO to him, that raid ain't just, oh, we're just here to find the baby oil. No, you got a RICO that you guys are all raiding for to constitute for this trial and these accusations and these charges. That house is and the yard, everything is tore the fuck up. He explains that instead of doing the raid early in the morning, as was usual, they waited until mid-afternoon, as they knew the family were away on a trip. They used a vehicle to break open the front gate and gain entry. Okay. This is in Star Island, this one. Beautiful location, man. Star Island. 20,000 square foot property in there. Beautiful, man. Beautiful. This is why Diddy's gonna fight. Hair, tooth, and nail, man. You want to come home to that type of shit, that type of lifestyle. Don't nobody want to lose their life to their remaining years in prison. There's no way he was gonna take a plea. I did not believe that one bit early on. Sex toys, high heels, loaded guns. I'm just gonna go straight to the list. Things that the agent is saying that they found: sex toys, Astroglide lubricant, baby oil, condoms, loaded guns with their serial number scratched off. This right here is a federal issue, I believe, right? Magazines with bullets in them, boxes of high heel shoes. None of this shit is illegal. None of this shit is a problem except for this one to me. Scratch cereals. Because if you had legal handguns, it's in the South, right? It's Star Island. It's Miami, right? Off Miami. So it's in the South. Even his security guards, even if he's not licensed, he could have the security guard justifications, right? 24/7 people around the crib with guns and whatnot and safes and whatnot. But the scratched cereals, and I asked that question early on. I'm like, you're Diddy. Why are you in possession of scratch cereals? You can get anything you want. Why are you putting yourself in possession of federal charges, even if the gun is dirty? What? Like, you're Diddy. You shouldn't have to have anything that's not fresh out the box, fresh off the shelf. Receipt and everything. This is why I bought it. Right? Guys, y'all, if y'all purchase legal guns, keep the receipts for life. Right? Keep the receipts for life. So even if somebody comes and says this serial number is traced to a fucking crime 3-4 states over, this gun was when was the date of that shooting or that crime? It was purchased on this date, in this state, in this store, boom, boom, boom. You got all your defenses around that type of shit. Why the fuck does Diddy have guns with cereal scratched? Why? Why? All right. Uh-oh, Kid Cudi. All right, Kid Cudi to give evidence tomorrow. He's taking a stand tomorrow, which would be today. Kid Cudi's about to take the stand? Oh, shit. The jury has now been excused. The court is adjourned for the day. We are told the court will hear from new witnesses tomorrow, potentially including Scott Mascudi, which is Kid Cudi, who is known for... Yep. Oh, shit. Should I go live later on? Or should we just wait until the morning again for a full detailed recap? Drop a comment below. Let me know which one y'all enjoy more. I know a lot of people want to maybe just write at the moment and it'll be more specific. But when I do the recaps, I collect, make sure, collect the info, make sure we don't miss anything. And then we do a full from the whole day like this for y'all, straightforward. No, you know what I mean? No break in the moment and nothing like that. So y'all let me know what y'all like more.